Welcome back to another video. Yes, I'm still alive. Sometimes I don't feel like it. Those who don't know, I had surgery last Thursday, which was about 5 days ago. A gallbladder removal that, while some people did try to tell me and prepare me what this was going to be like, I really thought it wasn't going to be this much. But yeah, I can't even show a video right now because I'm not wearing a t-shirt. And it, just as much as it scares you just thinking about it, the picture of it is that much worse. I cannot wear a shirt because a shirt aggravates the stitches and the tape that I have on my stomach. I have about 5 different lacerations or puncture wounds from the instruments, and they're not healing like they should be by now. So I'm trying to keep anything I can off of them. And I'm having a tremendous pain in the right side every time I breathe. And every time I take a deep breath, especially to sneeze or cough, I literally feel like I'm getting shot, and it's excruciating. But there's been a lot of things going on. I don't want to get too behind. So I thought I would try to do a kind of a smaller summarized video of updates and things going on. So even though there won't be that much video of me or anything like that, hopefully y'all can get by that, and let's see if we can kind of get through this video. So for those who watched last week's video, I kind of made up these lines, pretending like I know what the hell I'm talking about. But all jokes aside, this is where it kept rejecting at, and I kept saying if it busts through this one, you should have a pretty good rod at least. So here it busted through at 108. It went up to about 110,500. The key was when it comes back down this line, was it gonna bust back through? And as you can see, it rejected. I joke about making up these lines, but it's funny how I have not moved this line since the day when I did it, and it just rejects off this line, eventually comes through. And what you're hoping is that this becomes the new resistance that it bounces off of. And you can see where it hit through. So it had now it hit this and came back up. So will eventually this Bitcoin price continue to go up? Hey, you hope so. You also have this bottom line here, and this is a line also from these two bottom lines where it bounced off below. So something's supposed to happen when it gets eventually this line. Oh, that hurt. But we'll see. We'll see how it does. I don't have too much confidence. I'm not that worried about this line or this line at this point. This is the key line that we've been talking about, and it's just cool that you can see how this has just been bouncing and bouncing and bouncing every hour. So 2-3 hours bouncing off this line, and then now you're above it. So let's see what happens. Ethereum to me is just still going sideways. You've had some dips up and down, but still you're at between 2,400, 2,600. It's just still, yeah, you've gotten up to 2,800 at times to 2,100, but you still understand this $2,000 range going sideways. Until this starts moving, from what other people say, is when you're going to start seeing the alt season. I told y'all I don't think alt season's coming at least for the next 4 to 5 months, if we even have one. We'll see, what happens from there. But Solana, you're basically seeing that same thing. You've had it down here back in April, back down in the 120s, coming all the way back up in May to 186, going all the way back down here to your 126 again, back up to 157. Now you're in the 150s. So since July, we've been basically sideways, but looks like you can almost draw a line, despite what some people probably don't want to hear. You can almost draw a line right here. And I don't know. I don't know what that's going to bring. And basically, you can start seeing, but these alts they're not performing like a Bitcoin. So that's why I don't really worry about putting lines and different things like that, because at any point, these things can go back up. Yes, you would like to see this come back up like this. It'd be great to be able to see this, kind of do this. And then eventually, after it keeps hitting this line, come through. You would hope that happens. You can look at Vet's basically sideways also. CRO, CRO has had a crazy jump. I'm gonna have to look into what caused this, but CRO has had a crazy jump. It basically, CRO had a 23% jump in about 2 or 3 hours. So what it looks like is, CRO might be the next ETF filing. It says that crypto blue chip ETF, True Social revealed this planned crypto blue chip ETF. And hey, y'all know I own a lot of CRO. I own over 30,000 CRO right now. I use the crypto card for everything, and I make bank on crypto.com, on crypto or CRO tokens, Chronos tokens, whatever you want to call it this week. So I told you I bought about 4,500 CRO back when that was about $4,000 worth. So I get the blue card. I bought that with Helium tokens, so I didn't even come out of pocket technically. And those are now worth almost 30. I have almost 31,000 tokens looking at it right now. So I'm all for it. If this goes back to $1, paying off my daughter's car. Simple. Letting y'all know that now. You know, here we go back to my screen with my scrolling screen. Letting y'all know. CRO goes back to $1. Grumpy selling it, paying off a car. Simple. Y'all been warned already. Ooh, that hurt. I gotta stop. All right, starting off. Back in first place after several weeks of being knocked out of first place, even with a slash in rewards from mining, because of the amount of new people coming on, it goes to show you what a price increase in the token value will do for mining rewards. Back in first place is Entropy, or Entropy, as Grumpy likes to call it. We're back making about $6 per day. Actually, it's probably a little bit more than that, but we have seen a significant price increase recently. As you can see, over the last several days, we were down at the 0.0006 level right here, and you can see where it's back up to 0.004994. It was actually a little bit even higher than that. So, you know, some of it is from these NFTs that are selling, more people getting in a project, whatever you want to call it. But for a while, we've been hanging around this 0.006 level. We had some great price increasing. People can start being greedy, start selling. But either way, 7.5 to 8 to 8.5 down to 9. That's what this is. So even though you're seeing a decrease in rewards from mining from all these ASHLARS coming online, you still are seeing a token increase, token value increase, which is kind of leveling that off. So you're back to making $6 per day right now. Now, several things going on right now with this project. Helium Deploy has announced that July 14th, they will be opening for more orders. This will be round 3 of ASHLAR units. The first two orders sold out in several hours. I'm expecting the same thing to happen this time. Everybody knows, I don't know why some people are acting like this is a surprise, but you have to get a NFT when those go for sale to mine with an ASHLAR. If your ASHLAR comes in before the minting of NFTs, then you can mine without an NFT. But people are making a big deal all of a sudden about this. When you order from Helium Deploy, there is a checkbox that says you understand all this. People are getting ASHLARs in, and then yet they're still surprised because apparently they're not reading what is being checked. But if you want to see ASHLARs go on sale again, July 14th, go to this Twitter or this X post by Helium Deploy, hit nothing, write nothing, or comment nothing below so they can see the interest in this. So I did do a video on the fact that the pre-mint is going on currently right now with Entropy and all the different PFPs that you can get and where it goes and stuff like that. So that is contributing to some of the token movement with the value of the Entropy token. It told us it's live. And then there's also an announcement going on about the SARI token. They have almost, I guess, created a new SARI token. So they started their own new version, I guess, of the SARI token. It's got a new address on it. It doesn't have the address that the last sorry token did, but this is for something for people who cheat, and instead of their devices getting completely bricked where they're unusable, now they're going to do this sorry token. But the thing about this thing has like no limited token supply or anything like that. I don't really know the whole deal behind it. This one thing that happened while I was out, so I haven't really, you know, I don't think this is going to be really worth anything. I think it's just going to be a token to hold on to. I don't know. I don't know what the whole deal is with the whole sorry thing, but y'all can come read about it, figure out what it's about, you know, whatever. Also, the post pre-mint is about the end. So they said it was going to end in 9 hours. I will tell you, I just purchased another one. What Grumpy's plans have been is, since you technically can't sell your entropy without being punished, but you can buy NFTs without being punished or go towards your Jeter deleter score, I have purchased 3 or 4 extra of these NFTs with the hopes that there's only going to be a limited amount of NFTs that are for sale at any point. At some point, you're going to run out of NFTs and still have ASHLARS for sale. So my hope is that people will want to buy NFTs from me. And if I can sell an NFT for Solana or 1.5 Solana, like they're going to be going for, or even more, that's a way of me selling my entropy tokens without being in trouble. That's how I looked at it. Hey, I didn't go overboard. I still have millions of entropy left. I just bought a couple of extra. So we'll see how that goes. If I am sorry for making that decision, no pun intended, or we'll see what happens with that. All right, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is going to be Chirp. Chirp prices actually kind of stayed the same. I will tell you, KAGE app rewards have come and gone, and people are not happy. I know I busted my butt doing KAGE app. I was telling a lot of y'all to do KAGE app, trying to refer y'all to use KAGE app. I was in New York, in Washington, D.C., in Philadelphia, running KAGE app nonstop. I jumped a bunch of rankings. And I ain't gonna sit and lie to you. I don't know what my final ranking was, but I can tell you that I got $24 worth of Chirp KAGE, a Chirp, $24 worth for running that for however long it was, almost a month. And I think that's piss poor pitiful for the amount I ran. Now, we've always said we knew that the Chirp KAGE app was not supposed to be anything special. It was not supposed to be, you know, a way to make a whole lot more, but I still think that it could have been better. At least that's what, you know, that's what they're trying to say. You know, it was only meant to be like a supplement. Round 3 was live. Rewards have been distributed, and you could see what it was here. I finished at 173, and again, that's running it in the big cities. And I finished at 393 tokens. So as of today's price, when I look at it, 393 tokens is worth $28. $28. And again, I ran the mess of it, so it's a little bit less than $1 a day. I guess, you know, depending on how you want to compare it, but anybody can come look at this spreadsheet. The easiest way to find your name is if you go click anywhere on here and press Control F on your keyboard, you can type your name and it will bring you down to whatever name you need. Now, people want to know, why do we always cry about people possibly cheating? Because when you look at what they got, this guy right here who did 2 million more than the guy we thought was already cheating. This is sad. This is a joke, and I'm sick of complaining about it. They don't want to do anything about it. That's fine, but you cannot sit here and tell me over and over this. Every time they want to try to justify this guy, you got all these fanboys coming saying he's in this area. No, he's in this area. No, he's in New York. No, he's in the Philippines. No, he's in here. No, he's there. He rides cabs. If you still scanning the same places every day, you don't get as many points for the 3rd day, for the 4th day, for the 5th day. I will call BS on this all day, but I'm sick of doing it in the Discord because I look like a fool. But but the reason we cry and we get upset about it is because when we got $28, he got $200 worth. And again, $200 isn't going to break the world. It's not the point. The point is that if he didn't get it, and if he didn't get it because we both question what they're doing and how fast they can get it done, then this gets filtered down to more people. But this guy right here who had, well, I think he had like 3 million within 6 hours of the reset, I call BS on it. This guy who's nowhere to be found, all of a sudden comes back a day or two later and passes everybody up like they're standing still. Even the people we already suspect. I'm sick of talking about it. I'm sick of beating a dead horse. I'm the only one that's complaining about it. It is what it is. But I call BS on this right here. Their anti-cheat system blocks GPS manipulation, emulators, and fake activity. No warnings, no second chance. If you notice suspicious behavior, DMR ambassadors are evicted directly. They'll check it. Guess what? We did all that. We did all this right here. And you know what they say? We checked it and it's legit. Common sense says you can't get that many points constantly, millions and millions. There's just no way. Not every day. Unless you're going to a new city every day, then yes. But if y'all gonna tell us that rescanning the same stuff over and over does not help you, and you don't get as many points, then common sense would say you can't do that. But again, what do we know? Blackboard offers one of the cleanest ROIs, real 5.48 a day in Chirp. The problem is you can't get them because what happens is they want to sell these NFTs to us, and the NFTs get bought up immediately and then get spammed or spoofed, or well, not spoofed, but, you know, cutthroat by people who just want to scalp them for $400, $500 more. And I still don't understand, why the hell do you need to sell them as NFTs now? So that's Chirp. Either way, the tokens you're getting, they're locked. You can't do anything on them for weeks. Even if you want to stake them, you can't because of, you know, the stupid locking. They got, this goes back to Grumpy's rules of crypto, and whether you say it's number 5 or number 6, but deep in people don't know how to run a business, and traditional people don't know how to run a crypto project. I don't know who's giving these people advice, but Chirp has too much potential to allow stupid gimmicky things to screw it up. All right, moving on. GEODNET, the halving has arrived. And just like Grumpy said, even though I know it's only been a week, but you're not seeing this huge, everybody thinks that because a halving occurs, all of a sudden you're going to have these huge price increases. Ladies and gentlemen, I tried to tell y'all before, we haven't really seen a huge price increase. Have we seen a price increase? Yes, I'm not going to sit here and say we didn't, but guess what? 15 cents to 17 cents really isn't that crazy of a jump. Yes, is it going in the right direction? Absolutely. But for the month, you're still down 11%. You were at 19 cents well before the halving, and this is still somewhat of a downward trend. You can say what you want. I love GEODNET. I'm happy for the project. I think that somebody, I know it's too late. I love to sit and say that 1 year was too soon. 1 year was too soon. They're not going to go change the tokenomics because Grumpy said so and a bunch of people on lot said so. But all these projects that are still coming out with these 1 year halvings, it's idiotic and stupid. And I don't care what project it is, if it's Wingbits or anybody else. You have people who are investing hardware into your project. $700 for a device that you're now making $2 a day on. That's a $350 a day ROI. Unless the price goes up some more. If you see continuously significant price increase, then that's going to come down some. But it's going to take a very significant increase for that price to go up to start washing away this 350 day, almost a 1 year ROI. GEODNET, I don't know if y'all just copy these tokenomics for some other projects, and these other projects that are falling behind them. This was a sad day. You're making 12 GEODNET per day. And again, at today's price, that's about $2 per day. Now, to help a little bit with those rewards, they have GIP6, which is GeoNet's, I guess improved protocol proposition number 6. Go live tomorrow, July 2nd. I was planning on doing a full video on this, but again, I've been down and out, so I couldn't. But there will be a GIP6, which has got a bonus in it. Stations with a backbone RTK networks with an RRR of 99.9 are eligible to split the rewards and reward pool evenly. If no phone number wallet, no extra rewards will be given. First batch bonus rewards will be distributed July 9th, which will be tomorrow. Underperforming stations will lose rewards. So stations with a 2-hourly RRR of 80%. So this says your station is selected if you have a green circle with a purple shield. It's selected as a backbone station, but the performance does not meet the 99.9% threshold. Know the station part of backbone. Improving its data quality can help you earn extra prizes. So just me searching around all over the place. I cannot find, and I'm sure somebody here will, I have not found any greens. I see a bunch of greens with purples. And again, they have, this one has 92.63%. This one has a 99.7%. I don't see any that are so far fitting this 99%. So I guess they can tease you all they want. Even Grumpy's that has 99.65, I'm getting 38 out of 38 satellites. Been online for 68 days. Even mine, I'm at 99.65. I don't know how you're going to get this any better. That's crazy. This is 99.78 for 14 days. This is 99.39, 99.55, 99.57. How am I supposed to? I'm getting 38 out of 38 satellites. I have an access point literally 5 feet from the station because of Wi-Fi issues I had months and months ago. This thing's been online 332 days now. I don't know how they think people get 99.9%. But I guess it's good to tease people. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think. Green means your station selected as a backbone station. It meets the 99 point threshold. I don't see anybody getting that. I can't find anybody. So underperforming station will lose rewards, which will be used to fund extra rewards pool for the eligible backbone. So in other words, if you're doing lower than 80%, they're taking your tokens and give them to the people who will get 99.9%. I gotta go find a 99.9% station because I'm curious on what they're going to be getting extra. Multipath panel stations with multipath will lose rewards. Y'all tell me, is there a way to find out if I'm getting multipath? I don't know how to even determine that. Dual band, all dual band stations will be ineligible GEOD awards. So we knew this was coming. People with the old dual band stations, if you have an older station, mine are all triple band. But if you had the old dual band station, they gave you all kinds of deals to go ahead and get that upgraded to a triple band. And, that time, I guess, is now past. So, we'll see. The effective satellite count factor in your ROR ratio has been adjusted from 30 to 29 globally in order to achieve 100% status. Well, I'm getting 30 out of 30. I'm getting 38 out of 38 right now. And I'm got a 99.55%. I don't know about this. I don't know. You can upgrade your dual band station triple band. So you have this announcement here. If you're unsure how to improve your station performance, you can also email them at support@geodnet.com. So, project update, the AMA, Thursday, July 10th. I will try to be on for this so I can hear some more about what GeoDNet's doing. Again, I like the project. We'll see what's going on. I know there's been people always talking about new super hexes and different things like that. I don't know what's going on with that right now, but they have new super hexes coming this weekend. But I don't think that anything at this point, those super hexes fill up very, very quickly. So as far as the token price is concerned, we talked about that. I'm hoping to see that token price continue to go up. Moving on. Next is going to be ROVR. Again, this is just the average of what I normally drive, and it's about $2. The token prices come down just a tad, but this is all dependent on how much you can drive. because the more you drive, there's a direct correlation, just like some other driving projects, on what you can get. I am having a problem with my ROVR Tarantula where my phone no longer connects. It started the day before I went out for the surgery. I have not driven since then. So my wife has been driving me back and forth to the hospital and the doctor. So I have not got that resolved yet. I reached out to them with a ticket. They asked me about the blue light. The blue light's on. I still cannot connect. They asked me about Bluetooth on my phone. The Bluetooth is working on my phone. Restarted my phone, restarted everything. Still can't get it working. And I have not messed with it since then because I've been out with the surgery. That was number 4. So moving on to number 5, NATIX. So I have not received, today is July 8th, and still have not received my NATIX rewards yet for driving. If you look on their Discord, not only did they have a problem last month giving out rewards, it seems like, again, this month they have had another issue giving out rewards. I think as a project, this should have been solved at some point, like through testnet, but you know, they're still having some issues. So, bands, you thought of hearing about driving user bans, necessary stuff. So, you know, some people have to get unbanned because they were wrongly banned in this project. So, but again, we got reports. Some of you have not received rewards. I have not put my report in yet. I'm just realizing this. I'm going to create a ticket and figure it out. So if I get anything back from NATIX, I'll let you know. There's a website that they put on the Discord for you to contact. When I do that, the webpage doesn't even open up. So that tells you how that's going. I'll report later and let you know. Earnapp. I have not looked at Earnapp. Let's look at Earnapp together. So as y'all know, I took $200 worth of Earnapp, leave me with a balance of just a couple of dollars. And that was back when I was on that trip, which was about 2 weeks ago. That might have been June 25th. So in 13 days, I have made $113. Now, I have several devices, old PCs and stuff, some at some friends' houses that I'm using daily. And you see what it's $1 per gigabyte. And you can see basically what I have going on without trying to show you all too much. I have not gone any further into like promotions, transactions, or anything like that. Transactions, it shows you that I pulled out $206. Again, that was June 19th, and June 22nd is actually I got paid. So it's been 3 weeks, right? Yeah, about 3 weeks. Either way, $100 something in 3 weeks, I think is pretty darn good. And that is Earnapp. I have a code below for y'all to get into Earnapp. Some of y'all have used it. Again, if you have old computers, put it on that. Grass, Earnapp, these other ones, I don't put it on anything current that I'm using. No current computers. I know I tell y'all that every time, but I still have to feel safe to tell y'all every time on my BitHarvest devices, any third party that y'all might have, y'all could use it on that. But basically old laptops, old computers. Also, if you're running like a Wingbits DIY device where you can, get into it with Raspberry or whatever it's called client, you can run that project on there, run that code, and that's where you see a lot of these devices being ran, these Earnapps being ran. So that goes to show you, like, it's actually doing. I'm pretty excited to see in 3 weeks or whatever it's been. I got $100 something already. And again, I'm planning on holding on to that unless I really need it. I have a trip coming up at the end of this month, a conference going to Baltimore. It's not cheap, and I'll probably need some spending dough for that, and I'll probably use it for that. After that, I probably will not touch it again until November when that hunting trip comes that I'm going to take. But I also have a Las Vegas trip for my side business in there somewhere. I'm going to need some spending money for that. So that's where Earnapp's been coming. And what's cool about it, I don't have to worry about crypto prices. It is what it is. So hopefully those prices can stay the same, or what it's making. Maybe it goes up. I don't know. I don't know what that's based off of, but Earnapp has been doing very well for me. WeatherXM, really been no movement. Still can't get my device online. Price has been kind of staying the same, and it's making about 42 cents a day. No real big movement on Weather XM at all. Looking at the announcements page, there have not been no announcements. There have been some downtime affecting Helium weather stations, but they're investigating it with the Helium network itself. Not their fault. Moving on to Helium itself. Helium price has kind of going up a little bit. I know I saw some announcements that's going up. Nothing crazy to get excited over or anything like that. But this is the Helium price right now. So for the last 7 days, it's gone from 217 to 233. It was even up to almost 250 at one point. So maybe we can get this thing back on track. I don't know. Again, fully functioning network. I'm surprised that, I'm surprised that it's not doing better. Some of y'all aren't, but hey, it is what it is. For the day, it's down 3%. For the month, it's still down 20%. I'd like to see it get back in this $3 range, eventually back in that $5 range where it was hanging out at some point. We can never get back in where it was last December. I'll be ecstatic. But I'm still mining. I still have a lot of devices mining. 19 stations right now mining and making it a little 30 cents a day. And when you add it all up, it's about $6 a day maybe. So it all adds up. Right now, I'm keeping all as Helium. When I needed a little bit of cash to pay back some junk or to put my Entropy Jeter deleter score back to 1, I use my Helium from current mining for that, not out of my cold wallet or whatever it is that I keep my Helium at, because I don't keep it on the Helium app. I move my Helium tokens off of that about at least once a week. So then if I need some quick money real quick, couple of dollars just to move some tokens, or if I want to buy some goofy token or something, I'll use that Helium so that I'm not actually using real money. That makes sense. Next is Silencio. I have not did my raffle tickets yet because I want to do a video when I do my raffle tickets. If I still feel well after this video is done, I'm going to make that video. If not, it'll be tomorrow, but we'll have to see what Silencio is doing. As far as the price is concerned with Silencio, I don't think it's really been moving all that much, but you also know that I think most of them tokens are kind of locked, or they want you to do a staking or something like that when, but tokens have not really moved that much, down 5% in the last month. And since our last video, down 3%, 0.0018, 0.00179. So that's really not that much of a move. So Silencio is still hanging in there for right now. One thing I want to say about Silencio is that right now I'm just taking a break from Silencio, not because of the surgery, but because once they have teased us with this, this no ads thing for a while. I had no ads all through June, and now the ads have started again. I'm just not playing with it. We pushed back hard enough to make DIMO want to change their whole thing about subscriptions. Now, they still charge some subscriptions, but they have also changed it a lot. And I think the same thing happened with Silencio. The fact that they want to make us play ads, which they're getting rewards for, they're getting the rewards for it, they're getting paid for it. And then on top of that, we're going to pay them subscriptions. Silencio has lost its way. I'll go back to saying that. I enjoyed it for the month of June with no ads. I ran it hard. But again, I'm going to talk more about that when I run my video in a little bit on what those rewards are. Soarchain rewards for actual mining and driving suck. That's something that we've discussed over and over again. Now, the price for the token has actually gone up 17%, but really, it's going up from 0.0034 to 0.0039, almost 0.004 for the last 7 days. It's up 20% for the month. Basically, it's still that 0.003 range. So that's Soarchain. ERWIN token, trying to keep it charged. Again, if you're in my Discord, you know how we can keep, we keep reminding y'all when to charge y'all's ERWIN devices, but we're making about 14 cents a day. Nothing really to write home about, nothing really crazy about it. Grass, right now, no new news on Grass. I know you'll find it hard to believe. So Grass did come out with some information about the grasshopper. We spoke about that in the last update. I might do just a little video, separate video on this at some point, just so people can not miss it. There are a lot of people already in grass. I'm curious to know how many people would be interested in this. Y'all let me know if y'all gonna be interested in this. Depending on the price, I may get one just to get one to show it off and do a video about it. It all depends on the pricing. They don't know what the pricing is going to be. Grass, however, will begin shipping in limited batches starting Q4, which is what, about October maybe. Details and availability and price will be shared to the first batch sale. I don't know if it's, I'm hoping it sells through like a Helium deploy or something like that. Therefore, I can give y'all a code and y'all could save money on the code, you know, just to help y'all out a little bit. And of course, it helps me out, but you know, we'll see what's going to happen. But basically, this is just going to be a box that runs. You plug it into your router through Ethernet. It doesn't say anything about Wi-Fi. It says it plugs directly into your Wi-Fi router. But Grass is they want a box apparently that plugs into Ethernet. You know, depending on what size Ethernet you have, Wi-Fi might even be faster in some cases. But you can go and read this X article about zero touch setup. Plugged in, include Ethernet cable into open port in your router, scan the QR code with Grass mobile or desktop app, and walk away. So, I mean, I am curious to see. I'm glad to see Grass project have some type of movement going on. You know, we'll see what happens with that. Also, Grass is now available on the Android phone. I have one Android phone. That's the one I run Chirp KAGE with. I'm going to download it on here. I don't know how it's going to work with me having it tethered to another phone and not having its own natural connection, if that makes sense. But for right now, Android users will receive 3x Grass points for a limited time. You can download it here, read the full blog and stuff like that. But Grass is now available on Android. So nothing about any, people keep asking about when's the next, when is the next epoch going to end? So looks like epoch 9 that we're currently in is supposed to end July 27th. And we don't know what's going to happen after that. This will be, if it goes past this will be longer than it did the first time. The first time we had 7 epochs and then a bonus epoch was technically number 8. So right now we're already in uncharted territory. So we'll see. I think this is absolutely ridiculous that from October 14th to June 27th, we have not gotten rewards for any of this. But you know what? There's not too many other people crying about it. So apparently I must have missed a memo on that or something. I just think it's crazy that people can get rewarded once a year and think there's nothing wrong with that. Moving on. Honeygain's pawns. I know I really don't have any updates on that. I run these programs anywhere. I'm also running Grass or even Earnapp at this point. DIMO token is still slowly falling. Not as drastic as it was before, but it was at, kind of close to the same thing that it was last week. Rewards have kind of stayed somewhat the same, but for the last 7 days, actually, we're down. It's a 3%, but either way, rewards are about the same thing. 11 cents a day, 17 cents a day, depending on what level you're at. If you get a new device or you get this, y'all know I've been no longer ROVR to any of my devices. In fact, I started keeping this here so that y'all know when I tell y'all I bought 3 devices for $280. And last week I was at $200 couple of dollars. Now I'm at 194. So even though I'm continuing to get rewards from 5 devices now, my total value is worth less. And yet this project wants us to pay subscriptions. And in the Discord, they had a big announcement on June 26th about redoing their subscriptions. I made a video on that. I don't know if a lot of people realize that my video was about the new subscription announcement that just came out and not the original one, because the way people complained, it was kind of like they were complaining about the original announcement. But there is a video I did about that. Wingbits is one announcement that they did come up with is there were a small amount of stations. I say small. I guess 80 is not really that small. And if you're one of the 80, you don't care how small it is. But 2% out of 3,600 high fix stations, that's about 80 of the 3600 high fix stations that were deployed, WB200s or MGW310s, had some type of issue, some type of range issue, quit working issue, but they've basically identified as two different things. Moisture ingress. Hey, I told y'all, we knew some people complaining that this happened after rain, and they're trying to say it's from over tightening antenna connector, carrying device, but antenna are pulling on the cap, causing a small gap to form, that little section on the top where I guess the metal meets the frame at. And some devices appear to have an internal failure of the LNA. We know the LNAs had some problems during the initial manufacturing and testing. They swapped those out for a better LNA, and apparently even some of them those LNAs failed. But they have modified injection mold of the lid to provide more reinforcement of the top antenna TNC in case it's the TNC connector, in case it's mishandled, reinforce the ceiling. So at least anybody who is curious, because people have asked about why should I go buy a new one when some of these are having issues. The new ones supposed to have been fixed, or they're taking steps to fix this. If you have this issue, you have to contact whoever you purchased that device from. So if you purchased it from HiFix or Helium Deploy, you contact those two providers, distributors, and they will help you get that fixed. Just be careful when you are handling that. I know there's still people who are out there who are purchasing these stations. I'm telling you, at least once a week, twice a week. I've had two since July, in July so far. People are still buying these WB200s, especially when you go to the web page and you see openings still, because there are some places that still have openings. And I think there's also this misconception also on where to go and put device up. Now, the website has been changed a little bit. This is the website. This website is now supposed to be for kind of geared towards selling the information. So if you want to actually get into Wingbits, you need to go up here to track flights and earn, and this will bring you to the mining side, if you want to call that, the participating side of Wingbits. But when you go up here to a map and you want to know if your location and how your location looks, and you see all these blue dots everywhere, you know, if you go on and tend, I know we went through a lot of this with, you know, a lot of y'all, but in case anybody new, when you live around something like this, the project just isn't for you. The rewards are not going to be as good. You're not going to be satisfied or happy. When you get away and you start getting into areas like this, just because there's only 2 or 3 stations doesn't mean this is not for you. This is a perfect place. This whole area right here would be a perfect place. I kept talking about putting one in Amarillo and somebody sniped me. So I backed off of it a little bit. So we know that we keep talking about over and over. If you've ever followed any of my live feeds that we talk about, we all talk about trying to put one in Chugwater. Chugwater is kind of in between, and it's a good location to put one. This is wide open for Chugwater. But again, if you live in areas where there's only 1 or 2 stations like this, any of this like this would be perfect. When you start getting to these more populated areas, not really so much. Florida's good, you know, maybe one right here, but Florida's really good, covered. And the reason I only say about something like this, because some people are going to say, well, you know, all these stations here and all these stations here are all overlapping. You're right. But if there's some small regional little airports up in here, low flying helicopters, things like that, y'all going to want, Wingbits is going to want this area more saturatedly covered. Again, only 1 station, maybe 2 stations, but that's about it. So, you know, you can see like my Grand Isle station down here, on this morning when I was looking at things, there's a lot of helicopters down here, a lot of helicopters that come offshore to all these oil rigs down here. And this looks like mosquitoes all flying through here. And again, my stations here, because of these low altitudes, my stations here don't pick up a lot of these helicopters. My Grand Isle stations, though, pick up all these helicopters. So that's kind of why we do that. So just if you're looking to get into this project, you look at what's open and where they got openings at. Wide open, you know, wide open. So take a look at that. All right, we move on. I know it's been a while since I've kind of touched on it with Wingbits, but I know there's always somebody complaining that somebody came and stepped on them or the station or whatever. So I just want to hit on it again. 375 AI, still chugging along with that, even though I'm not really making anything as I'm sitting here at home because I have to be driving around for that. But no updates since June in their announcements, so no real movement on that, but we're still chugging along. There are several epochs now, 33, I think epoch 33 is what, I think epoch 33 or something like that is what we just got rewards for. Again, it's test rewards because we're still on testnet. Don't know anything about mainnet or what's going on with that, but you know, we'll see what happens with that. Another new project I wanted to do a video on, I just haven't again been able to, is COMBINDER. COMBINDER is just another D-pin, another smart plug project. The reason I kind of like this one is it doesn't cost anything to get into the project other than buying some plugs from Amazon. Plugs are about $22 a piece. You get a bonus if you buy 3 with the COMBINDER project, and that's what this project is about, is buying, you know, just hooking up some plugs. It's in testnet, so you know we like to get in projects early. And of course, as usual, you're taking the chance because you know some projects early get better rewards to the early people. Some don't make it. COMBINDER, last I checked, didn't even have a Discord. Again, I've been out in bed for a week. They might have them by now. I don't know, but I'm still in it. And today was the Amazon Prime Day. I was hoping that these things would be on sale for a little bit, but right now I have 1. I just purchasing another one right now. That will give me 2, and eventually I want to get 3. Things are just, again, really tight right now. I know y'all sick of hearing me say that, but just with the surgery and not working any overtime, not doing any videos and stuff, I'm just trying to manage funds a little bit. So I'm just buying one now and just things like that. ONOCOY, y'all know I'm in the ONOCOY project, still not on mainnet yet. ONOCOY did have a AMA today. It was at 9 a.m. my time. It was on both YouTube, LinkedIn, X. I'm hoping that they'll have a replay soon so I can go ahead and catch it up. It did talk about when the TGE was going to be here, pink sale, funding updates, Bono to Ono conversion, and different things like that. So right now I'm just stacking up my my Bono, and we'll see what happens with that. If any of y'all did catch it, you know, I don't know if it's going to have a replay. Actually, it does have a replay, so I might catch up with this when I get a chance and kind of watch, see what happens with it. But I'm still dual mining on one of my GeoDNet stations. I am still dual mining. I keep going back to the screen like y'all supposed to be able to see me or something like that. So again, congratulations to both of our projects that are made first and second place, which was the Entropy project is back in first place, mining about $6 a day right now. Hopefully we see that price continue. Last time when we had prices this high, they seemed to take a lot of that out, lock it up as liquidity into pools and stuff for better stable pricing. I can kind of understand that. Hopefully they don't do that this time. It's supposed to be a lot of burning that goes on from these NFTs that are being pre-sold. We should have the minting of those happening soon. There's gonna be a lot of things happening with this Entropy project. I know there's a lot of naysayers out there. Hey, y'all know me. I'm the king of negatives. So king of negative people, so to say. But you know, hey, we hear you. It ain't for you. It ain't for you. You just skip over and go to another project. I mean, I might be against some of these other projects. You don't see me in their Discord constantly. Now, if I'm already mining it and then I'm being, you know, saying what I got to say about it, that's one thing. I'm in the project. It's a little bit different. But if I'm not in the project, I'm not wasting my time in those people's Discord trying to change people's minds that's already in the project. That makes no sense. Also, congratulations to Chirp, making $5 a day right now. That's strictly going off of the Chirp Blackbird device. Again, at some point, there's gonna be more devices go on sale. I've voiced my opinion with them several times just now on X and even in their Discord. The NFT thing is stupid. The fact that they're still trying to sell Blackbirds through NFTs, all it's doing is allowing scalpers to buy them and then turn right around and resell it NFT for $400 to $500 more. And I think it's stupid and it's wrong, but it is what it is. So I thank everybody for the well wishes that checked on me during my downtime, and hopefully I can get back to it next couple of days. I'll be honest with y'all. I thought I'd get, sick of sitting at home. I'm not. I'm watching. If any of y'all have seen Me TV Tunes, you got to search for it. Anybody who's my age or even older, or maybe just a couple years younger than me, it is all the tunes from when we were kids, the good tunes, like cartoons and stuff like that, Bugs Bunny and all these ones like that. It is on several cities around the country, and it's also on some streaming services. And when you look at what's on it, Woody Woodpecker, I used to love Woody Woodpecker, Tom and Jerry, Popeye, Looney Tunes, all the Looney Tunes stuff you can imagine. I used to really like Johnny Quest when I was a kid. I used to love Johnny Quest. You look at some of the blocks on here with all the Hanna-Barbera stuff, Speed Racer, Pac-Man, Real Ghostbusters. Anyway, just you want something different, there you go. That is Me TV Tunes. I have been watching the hell out of it. I get that here at the house. That and a bunch of old Western stuff. One of the streaming services has 24/7 of The Rifleman. And I'm telling you, I get stuck in, especially during hunting season, where we stay at for hunting season. This is one of the few streaming channels it does get. And I can sit here and watch The Rifleman all day, all night. And look, this is part of just getting older, I think, because I didn't watch all this when I was younger. I didn't watch Westerns when I was younger. And this is what I'm doing with my time. And if this is a prelude to retirement, I ain't got no problem with this, to be honest with you. I got 357 days left until I invested for retirement. And then after that, it's day by day. And, other than the pain I'm in every time I take a sneeze or cough or burp or something, because that hurts too. Oh my goodness, after I eat. But all jokes aside, thank y'all for everybody who's checked on me in my Discord, who reached out to me through text, Facebook Messenger, X, and stuff like that. I really appreciate it. And I'm hoping that I can do another video soon with a shirt on and actually be back on camera. So I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much, and see y'all next video.